Hi programmers, this is Said. Okay, last time we talked about just introduce arrays, what they are and what these things do, what they mean, and we just discuss those basic concepts but very important throughout the array story. We talked about the general syntax of our array. We talked over how you can declare an array. We talked over how you can initialize our array. We talked over the subscript, which are absolutely vital, they are important. Okay, we talked about how you can access the elements stored in our array using the subscript, which we talked of. Okay, so today, as I promised, we are going to go direct to our code because we are just discussing using the file document. We didn't do anything on any application. So we're going to go into the dev C++, where we are going to do the code of what we discussed. We discussed over wanted to store the 5 grades of the students, which are over the floating point, which of the data type of a floating point according to what we discussed. Okay, so without wasting much time, don't stress much on that. If you missed the video, you can ask for it, and I'll be much available to provide for you, or you can check on my YouTube channel for the previous video. Before this one, you will be able to see the video. So let's go direct to the console here. Okay, so I've already written this. I've saved my file. We talked about this last time, so if you don't understand what these lines of code means, probably you can check out the video, or you can request for it. I'll be available to provide. Okay, so we say according to what we discussed, the data type of the data type, the name of our array. So in our case, we are storing grades, which are of the float. So say grades and 5 grades. Okay, so when you leave it like this, this is what we said is a declaration of our array. Okay, it's array declaration. We have not initialized with the elements. We just said, okay, this structure, I'm going to call it grades, and it's going to store 5 elements, and all elements that will be of floating point. Okay, so now we want to initialize. This is a topic for another day, where we are going to be just using the declaration, but now we want to be moving at the same pace, so we're going to initialize. So we say now the first one maybe got 50.3, separate them by commas. Yeah, okay. Third one got 70.8, and maybe this one got a 90. Okay, I think they are quite enough. Okay, so we have stored 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, there are 5. Okay, we've stored 5 elements in our array. So I have a data type, the name of our array, the number of elements you store in, and the element which are over the same data type. Okay, so now this is what we discussed about basically, and we also mentioned of how you can access now those elements. For instance, if you want to get the grades of the first student who got 50.4, what line of code are you going to use? How are you going to access it? So that this is now where the part of index comes in. It's a very important part, and I hope people really understood that part. But if you didn't understood, I'm pretty sure this is going to help. So if you want to access a 50.4, which is standing at index 0 in our case, that's what we discussed. So we say cout. So just make it like first student grade. Okay, so there's pairing grade. Okay, so the first student, we said the name of our array. This is how you access. So the pairing has to be correct, and the index where that element is standing. So it's standing on index 1, index 0. This is going to output a 50.4, which is at index 0. Okay, so when I compile this and learn, so yeah, bringing out a 50.4, which is what we are expecting. So for instance, if you want to get a fourth one, it's pretty much the same. So instead of typing, just copy for the sake of time. Okay, so a fourth one, we'll say fourth. Yeah, so here you say standing on index 3. So because if we count index 3, if we count from here 0 1 2 3, there we have it. So you learn this, compile, it will give us 70.8, which is pretty much the actual value we are looking for. Okay, so basically that's what we discussed, and this is pretty much very easy to understand and very practical. So in our next video we're going to discuss a little bit something interesting. This is interesting, but something bit interesting, where we'll talk of how you can play with these arrays in a form of instead of initializing, we'll be using them in an initialized manner. Okay, so see you in the next video. Don't miss.